Alright, so first things first, remove these two screws right here. So we can look at the top of the radiator. Then you're gonna go to the mouth sensor, and at the connector you're gonna go pry it off, tap, and then kind of like push it away like that. Then screw off the worm clamp that holds the intake pipe on. There you go. To the 10mm bolt right here. And out she comes. So then you come down here, you're gonna be greeted by about 1,000,000 of these 8mm screws. So basically you're gonna be taking out this whole plate down here. This one right here. All of it, so you can reach the radiator drain plug. This is the on-deck tray out right here. You can see it's pretty large. Look at all the damn screws I had to take off. Basically because this is an X-drive card, but if you have a rear-wheel drive card, it's gonna be a lot smaller. But be ready to have screws fall on your face. And that's gonna be this cover piece. It's gonna cover the bottom radiator. You can just pull it out and it should latch out. There we go. That right there. Alright, so this is the drain plug right there. That blue thing you see right there. You can use some kind of screwdriver, or the socket itself. It's a 19mm. So you just crack it open and let it drain on a bucket or something. I just lightly cracked it open. You want to open the top cap so air can come into the system and then coolant can come out. If not, basically you're gonna be a long time draining the coolant that's run down there. Alright, so while everything drains, you can begin to take off some hoses after you get the level down a bit. This one I have a worm clamp in here, but the factory clamp is usually junk, so most likely you're gonna damage it. So you might need one of these to replace it. So we're gonna take off the upper radiator hose and this one right here, which goes to the expansion tank. Then you're gonna want to disconnect the radiator connector for the fan. So it's one tab here, there's one on the back. So just give yourself a little flathead and pry from the back, or pry from this side and pull it out. Sometimes you can get stuck. Upper radiator hose is usually gonna be as easy as putting a flathead here, pulling it out. Make sure to lose the thing and then pull it. Sometimes it can get stuck because when the coolant dries out, it creates kind of like a glue, but it'll come out. Also, this hose also is connected to one down here. Let me see if I can. There you go. Don't drop the clamp like I just did, but I'll just get it later. So we take this hose off, and then you can pull that one off. As you can see, it just came out right there. Same with the lower hose. By the way, you're most likely going to damage your radiator by prying it out. I didn't, but I almost did. And I would recommend you buy this hose new at least. I mean, if your radiator is failing, you're gonna need a whole cooling system overhaul anyway. But just saying, because this is super hard to take off and there's a good chance you're gonna damage it. Same with the lower hose. And that's a given. This is gonna fail by itself anyway. You're gonna wanna get out that little screw right there that holds the fan shroud in there. Using this little ratchet, but you can get a screwdriver in there. Alright, so when it comes to removing the front shroud, basically it just pulls out, but the main thing you don't need to know is this. There's just two tabs down here. Let's see if I can get a good look on them. This one and this one. Then you just pry them off from the back. And you can push the fan up and the shroud up as he even moves up, then you know you're good. Then the second step, down here is going to be a latch. Let me see if I can show you with flash. Let's see, this little latch down here. This, you just kind of pull it out. Let's see if I can show you. This, you just push it out, push it forward, and then that's gonna allow you to pull the fan shroud out. It's kind of like a clip. So you just pull it towards the engine and then pull the shroud out. I kind of messed showing this. So right here, this bolt, this is gonna be this oil to water exchanger. Gonna have this little bolt right there that's gonna be holding the shroud up. So yeah, definitely don't want to pull it up hard. Make sure that everything is disconnected from it. So here it is up, and this is where you connect the big plug. that you take out from top of the radiator. And here we have this much room, as you can see. Alright, so there's gonna be two little torque screws, so you can see one right there, and then one on the other side holding on the radiator. So let's take that off. Next thing, we're gonna be coming down here. So this hose is on the passenger side in the bottom, so we're gonna be moving the bucket over here so we can disconnect it, and that one up top as well. I probably struggled more with that hose than I did doing everything else in this project. So I had to get a breaker bar behind it and just pry it like I was gonna break the entire radiator off. Alright, so regarding this hose right here and driver's side of the radiator at the bottom, it's gonna have a little screw right there. That's for the automatic transmission, and I believe it's the same case for this one. No, actually this one has a clip, kind of like the radiator hoses, which pain in the ass to take out. Where the heat exchange between the transmission and the coolant happens is inside this heat exchanger right here, which is a great design because then the coolant can get mixed up with the transmission fluid if the radiator fails. So that's a good design. So these hoses in the bottom are gonna be the ones going to the heat exchanger. So you don't have to worry about getting a different container, just all coolant, so it all goes in the same spot. You can see the radiator is loose already, but it's almost full. There's gonna be a bit of water left on the left side of the radiator because I only opened the drain plug on the right side, but the left side one is a pain in the rear to do. There's two of them I'm gonna show you. Let me give you a look. You see that plug right there? You're supposed to take that out. I just didn't have anything to take it out. So whatever, if it leaks, it leaks. I have spare coolant anyway. So here it is out. It looks pretty good on camera, but trust me, it isn't good at all. It's full of junk. The reason I'm replacing this thing is because right here I put some RTB to keep it running for a few days until I get the radiator, but basically it was seeping out of here. I'm going to insert the video of how it was. Leaking coolant out of there, and you can see how it was dripping all the way down. So whatever, I just got a replacement one. I'm gonna put it in. Alright, so from the old radiator, you're gonna want to get these tabs. You're gonna clip them in place because this, you have to move them from the old one to the new one. They hold on the fan shroud, as you saw. So you just wanna kind of, press them in. So I got the radiator in, not that hard, just slowly down there and it'll fit. Pretty easy to do, there's lots of room down here. I suppose if you had an M54 with another cooler, with the two pipes coming down here, it would be a pain in the ass. But this one was quite easy. I don't know if it might be a bit different from a rear-wheel drive car. You see that screw right there to hold the radiator in place? You see this hole right here? See the hole behind it? That's what happens when you buy a Chinese piece of shit radiator. Oh, this is a Sunbelt radiator. So you can see here. That's the old one in there. All of this crap is drop shipping from China. Don't even waste your money on it. Garbage, I had to zip tie it in place. I'm probably gonna go and zip tie from here and lock it back. And the radiator is garbage. Hopefully it works good and just has bad fitment, but that's left to see. This hose needs to be replaced. You can see it's fucking trashed and pretty tight. You just plug in the connector, the fan just latches on, no big deal. Let's go into the car so I can show you. This clips right here. You're gonna want to make sure they're latched in place. So you can see the clip itself has a hole, and the hole is where the fan shroud goes into. So that's what keeps it in place. Another thing that lets you know the Sunbelt radiator is a piece of junk is that you see this tab right here, there's no hole in the radiator for that. And there is on the old one, which is why this thing is left like that. But I think it'll hold up just fine. So what's left is to screw this back into the shroud, fill up the cooling system, check all connections, and then we're good to go. Alright, to begin the bleeding procedure, put the key in, ignition on, temperature all the way to the max, 84 degrees, and then gas pedal for about 10 seconds or so. And you're gonna see here the pump, pumping water to the system. Like right here. Let me go to the front. You can see it right there. And then you can see the water flowing with the bleeding procedure. Basically, the electric pump is one of the benefits of it. Just pumps water through the system so it bleeds the air out through here. And you can keep filling it up until you have no air in the system. So I just started it up. I don't see any leaks or anything. Not dripping. I don't let it run for a while. See the system pressurized. I already bleeded everything. It takes a while to bleed, so don't rush it. You're gonna see it's gonna take at least 5 minutes, 7 minutes, something like that, depending. But I'm gonna go and run it and see if it leaks or anything. One hose that I'm sure I'm gonna replace because I don't like how it looks or how it's seated against the radiator. Is this one right here? That one goes to the electric water pump. That hose is a pain in the ass to sit in place and everything, even take off. So I'm most likely going to replace it just in case. So pretty much that is it. I'm gonna go let it run for a while. If it's not leaking, I'll take it for a drive. If it's good, then radiator is fine.